Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Koala. If you're new here, I am a shamanic practitioner within the Nordic tradition, but I'm also initiated into Nustakarpai and the Munaki rites. And this is my series about the 9 worlds or the 9 realms of the Nordic tradition. So this is the map we're working with. This is the map of the cosmos with the 3 upper worlds, 3 middle worlds, and then 3 lower worlds. And we have reached the middle of the middle, which is this one. So this is the rune that represents the middle of the middle ones. So it's called Mannheim, or Mannheimer, I think the English word is. So this is what we're going to talk about today. You've also seen that in the thumbnail for this video. So who lives in this world, in this middle of all of the middle worlds? So first of all, I've talked in my other videos about the fact that this is just a map and the worlds aren't on a flat surface, but this is just how we depict them for easy understanding and for our human brains to have something to lean on. So it actually looks a lot more complicated, and the best way to discover all of these worlds are to travel with them, to do shamanic journeying, and to discover them inside of yourself and outside of yourself, because this cosmos is everywhere and it's both inside and outside. So in the middle of the middle world, Mannheim is that's the human realm. So when I work with it, I don't think of it as where we live now specifically. So it's not the physical world that we call the ordinary world. So in Nordic shamanism, we talk about the ordinary world, which is the world that we live in, that my glass is in when I drink from it, and where my body is, and where the physical shape of my drum is, etc. So that's the ordinary world. And then we have the non-ordinary world, which is the world behind the veils. So when I talk about all of these 9 realms, I talk about them being in the non-ordinary world, so beyond the veil, so to speak. So with this world, it's the human realm, but it's beyond the veil. So it's when I guide people in meditation and shamanic journeying, we always start in this place, in this realm. We always start in this middle of the middle. So we start there, and we start with the tree of life being in the middle. So as I've talked about before, I could also depict the 9 worlds as the tree of life, Yggdrasil, with the middle worlds being so this would be just by the trunk of the tree, and then the other middle worlds would be at the one end of the visible world, below the crown and below the heavens, but above ground. And then the lower worlds would be underground, and the upper worlds would be around the crown of the tree and above. So when we start our journeying, we start in the middle world, and we start by the tree. So, and then we can journey out into the outskirts of the middle world, where we can journey to Svartalfheim, or the home of the Black Elves, what we talked about last week, or the Ljusalfheim, the home of the Light Elves, where that's what we will talk about next week. So all of this is called the middle world, just like the upper world and the lower world. But this Mannheim is actually most often called the middle world. So it's like the same name for 2 things. So we start here in the middle of the middle, so to speak. And you can work with this in 2 different ways. So the first way I'm going to talk about to view this world is imagine that you have your sixth sense. You have your ability to see things that others don't see, maybe hear things, or view things that other people don't see. And that is so, like when you are waking up, you might see shapes, you might hear voices from your guide standing by your bed, etc. And when you're waking up and falling asleep, you get a glimpse into this part of the non-ordinary world. And if you have the ability to commune with spirits and that sort of thing, or if you put yourself in a trance state where you are grounded in the ordinary world, in this world, but you are open to what happens around you beyond the veil. That is you experiencing the middle world, or Mannheim. And in this world, we most often commune with the spirits of people that have passed away. Either they haven't crossed over yet, or they have crossed over but they are visiting, and we want to learn what they have, why they're here, or what message they have for us, etc. So one way of experiencing this realm is to just be in a trance or meditative state and experience it at where you are, which is also the way to experience it that we use when we journey to different places in the world to help a place. So a big part of shamanic, like the shamanic practice, the Nordic shamanic practice and Seder, is to help places in the world by journeying to them, and then work with the spirits and the magic in that place, and enhancing and healing a place, restoring balance. And when we do that, so if me and some other shamanic practitioners would like to help, for instance, maybe a war zone, or even probably more likely a place that have maybe been a victim of a natural disaster or something like that, and we would like to restore balance to that place so that it can heal, we use our drums that are our horses that we travel on through the realms, and we stay in the middle world, but we travel to that place, we journey to that place. It might be hard to understand for people that haven't done it, but we stay in the middle world, we stay just beyond the veil, and then we journey to that place and help that place with our medicine and magic. So one way of looking at this realm, Mannheim, is to just go beyond the veil. The other way of working with this place, with this realm, and within this realm, is to go deeper, but a little bit deeper, and work with it as a symbolic place. And that's most often the way I work with it when I have clients and when I have ceremonies. We go into meditative state, or maybe do shamanic journeying, and go into the place with the tree, and then we explore the space around us, and the space around us, the middle world, in that instance has more symbolic meaning. So we might meet guides. So in that realm there are always a fire where our guides and ancestors are gathered around. There's always a well, the well of knowledge, the well of truth, the well of insight, with there's always the Norns at the bottom of the tree, but also the bottom of the well. And we have the water in the west, we have the mountains in the north, etc. And we work with it more symbolically, but also more directly with our inner and outer guides. So there's two ways of working with this realm, and it's the only realm that is slightly beyond the veil. And when we work with this realm and we want to do shamanic journeying into other realms, we start in this world and we end in this world. And then there are a lot of rules, you can say, or recommendations and ways to journeying. that will help you feel safe and feel secure, and help you not bring out things from the underworlds, the lower worlds, into the middle world. I'm gonna talk about that in another video, talking about shamanic journeying and how that works and what to think about. But the most important thing is to always do it with someone that knows what they're doing, that is a good guide, and that also helps protect you from your own fears and from your own demons, outside yourself and inside yourself, so that you do it safely. So the middle world is where we start and end, and in the middle world there are humans that have passed away, there are animals that have passed away, but we also have an entire world or realm of symbolic meaning, and it's here where this is where we plant our seeds, this is where we nurture them in the spirit realm, and this is where everything happens. So when we work in ceremony for something to happen, this is where we do that for it to manifest in the ordinary reality. So there are no specific element attached to this realm. It's the middle of the middle, and we have all of the elements present. We have the water, as I said, the water in the west. We have the ice and the mountains in the north. We have the air. I look at it as like plains in the east, and then we have fire and desert in the south. So, and then we have the earth below us and the skies above us. So there are no specific element attached to this. The only element you can say are the humans, the human element. Benefits of traveling here is that it's a really good place to be when we set our intentions. So every time I want to set like new intentions for the new moon or the new year or whatever, this is where I plant them, and I always spend the time in a meditative state within this realm, so slightly beyond the veils or deeper into the middle world. So there are a lot of benefits to working with this realm, and there's a lot of benefits for yourself mainly, but also for the world. So for yourself, the benefits are it's a really good place for healing, it's a good place to start and end your healing work, it's a good place to meet your higher guides on your turf, you can say. This is where, when I hold ceremonies where we invite our ancestors or gods and goddesses or entities of any kind, we enter the middle world, and we invite them there, and then we say bye-bye afterwards, so that we don't have to go deeper and risk doing something that we are not prepared or ready to do or handle. So especially when you're new to shamanic work, my recommendation is always to start working with the middle world, or as you say in Sweden, mellanvärlden. So the other benefit that is to the outer world, to other people and places that aren't you, is that we can use this realm, this space, to help other places in different ways. We can go to different places and use our magic and medicine to aid in the healing of that place. Which is something that I'm gonna hopefully do a lot with my patrons when I get my Patreon up and running for you guys. So I hope you will join me in those kind of ceremonies on my Patreon. I'm planning on having them on a monthly basis to help places and people and the causes outside of ourselves. So I think that's what I wanted to tell you about Mannheim, the realm of the people. And this rune stands for the whole person. So a human, a person, it's the rune of Mother or Manas, and it's the rune that talks about seeing, accepting, and working with all parts of ourselves. So, for instance, the masculine, the feminine, and the spirit, but also the body, mind, and spirit. So everything intertwined, not integrated, that's another rune, but this is where the healing starts and it's where the healing finishes. So there's so much to this rune, there's so much to these worlds, but this has been a small introduction to the middle world of Mannheim, and I will see you next week in my next video where we will talk about Ljusalvheim, which is the home of the light elves. So I will see you then. Walk in beauty with all parts of yourself, and yeah, shingling.